Why is it always inevitable to rebound after losing weight? On the 18th of this month, a study in the journal Nature found that human fat cells surprisingly carry an obesity memory. Even after significant weight loss, the fat cells in the body will still retain this memory. The reason why this lingering memory occurs is that the memory of obesity is written into the epigenome of the cells. When we try to lose weight, your body will strive to correct this change so that you can return to your original state as soon as possible. Even weight loss surgeries such as gastrectomy cannot eliminate this memory. The study found that 2 years after obese participants underwent weight loss surgery, their weights dropped significantly, but the gene activities of their fat cells still showed patterns related to obesity. Scientists also found similar results in mice with significant weight loss. Researchers tested the persistence of this change by putting obese mice on a diet. A few months later, when the mice became thin again, the changes in their epigenome still remained, as if the cells still remembered being in an obese body. These cells absorbed more sugar and fat than the control group that had never been obese. The previously obese mice also gained weight more quickly on a high-fat diet. Thus, the epigenetic variation of fat cells listed is of great value. However, it is difficult to determine exactly which factors drive the memory of fat cells. This is also not a causal relationship, but only a correlation. Currently, it is still unclear how long this obesity memory will last and when it will disappear. It is possible that if we stay thin for a long time, the cells will gradually forget that they were once obese. Therefore, people who are losing weight may need to put in more effort. This research result helps to eliminate some prejudices against obesity. After all, it's not our fault. When light encounters an opaque object, a shadow is produced. So the question is, can light itself cast a shadow? This sounds like a philosophical question, but recent researchers have found that under certain conditions, a laser beam can cast a shadow like an opaque object, which was previously thought to be impossible because light usually passes through other light without interacting with each other. This is a very counterintuitive optical effect, and we may need to rethink the concept of shadow in the future. To achieve this, the researchers irradiated a high-power green laser into a cube made of standard ruby crystal and irradiated it from the side with a blue laser. When the green laser enters the ruby, it locally changes the material's response to the blue wavelength, increasing the optical absorption of the blue laser beam, thus creating a matching region with lower light intensity in the illumination light. The shadow is a visible dark area that meets all the criteria of a shadow as it is visible to the naked eye, follows the contour of the surface it irradiates, and can project the position and shape of the laser beam. Further measurements show that the maximum contrast of the shadow is 22%, similar to the contrast of a tree shadow on a sunny day. Our understanding of light and shadow develops simultaneously, and this discovery expands our understanding of light and shadow and provides the possibility of using lasers to control the transmission intensity of other lasers. In June this year, Chang'e 6 excavated nearly 2 kilograms of lunar soil and brought it back to Earth in a space capsule. On October 15, an independent Chinese research team published the latest research results in the journals Science and Nature respectively. This is the first scientific analysis of the lunar soil samples brought back by China's Chang'e 6. These studies describe in detail the volcanic activity history and different mantle sources of the Moon over billions of years. Chang'e 6 is the second Chinese probe to land on the far side of the Moon after Chang'e 4 in 2019. Both probes landed in the South Pole, Aitken Basin, which is one of the oldest and largest craters on the Moon and was formed by a meteorite impact nearly 4 billion years ago. But as expected, the researchers found that these fine dusts contain a mixture of particles from different geological eras. This is because the continuous bombardment of micrometeorites and high-energy solar particles has broken the rocks into dust, and then the dust can fly to other places without being blocked by the atmosphere. By measuring isotopes, they found that many dust particles came from lava erupted onto the lunar surface approximately 2.83 billion years ago. Another team also found similar results. Combined with other past studies, we can know that there has been active volcanic activity on the Moon for billions of years before it became the almost static environment we see today. As artificial intelligence continues to develop, it is becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish it from text content created by humans. Not every paper written by AI can be detected. On the 14th of this month, a study published in Scientific Reports found that readers may not be able to distinguish between poems generated by AI and those created by humans, and humans even prefer the poems created by AI. We know that currently, the content created by AI, whether it is text, pictures or videos, is rather rigid and stiff. While poems written by humans may have an intriguing complexity and even some strangeness. People may mistakenly regard this as the lack of smoothness in AI writing and underestimate the similarity shown by generative AI to humans. Anyway, if people cannot distinguish, then whether it is written by humans may not be that important. Currently, the proportion of AI-generated content such as text, intelligent voice, and images that we receive is increasing, and almost all the content we see is recommended by algorithms. Scientists are worried that our thoughts and values will gradually be changed by it. Plastic has caused severe pollution on a global scale. Multiple studies, including those in the Antarctic and the Arctic, have shown that microplastics can enter plants and accumulate in their tissues such as roots, stems, and leaves. Currently, microplastics have comprehensively invaded the bodies of animals. Take humans as an example. Microplastics have been detected in the brain, uterus, and placenta. Plastics are difficult to degrade and even more impossible to recycle after being ground up. However, recently, a new study published in the journal Science reported that a small pink worm larva native to Kenya is able to digest and decompose polystyrene. The key point is that this small worm can survive by only eating polystyrene. The study found that the bacteria in its gut can produce an enzyme that can break down plastics. Next, the researchers plan to isolate and extract the strains and enzymes involved in the decomposition in order to deal with the plastic pollution problem on a larger scale. In addition, past studies have found that the Earth's ecosystem has spontaneously cultivated a large number of organisms that feed on plastics. Therefore, some scientists believe that as long as the production of plastics is stopped, the current plastics will disappear on their own.